Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about everything rose. I love roses, and if you are a viewer of my channel from when I do my gardening content, you know that rose is my favorite flower. I have beautiful peach roses at my home, and peach and orange roses are my absolute favorite type of rose, which is why I'm wearing a peach or a dusty rose top today, because I adore rose. Even as a small child, I would wear rosy fragrances. I remember my mom saying, "Why do you wear those old lady fragrances? Why do you like such old lady perfume?" But I've always loved rose. And the collection obviously has grown since I was a little kid, but rose is here to stay for me. And so I'm going to show you my entire rose collection. All right. Before we jump into the perfumes, I want to show you a few lotions and an oil that I use as a base for various rosy fragrances. Most of these are actually relatively new. I'm going to start with the Sol de Janeiro Rosa Charmosa Dewy Cream. This one has a airy, pinky type of rose scent. There's a little bit of wateriness in the fragrance, and it reminds me a little bit of the Delina La Rose. This one is the newest one, and it is Rose Charmosa Dewy Cream, and I really, really enjoy this. I've used about half of this small container, and I've only had it for about a month. So I probably should have gotten the bigger one, but I wasn't sure if I would like it. Now, these other ones are brand new to my collection. Bath and Body Works has everything rose this time of year, as you can imagine, because it's almost Valentine's Day. This one is just entitled Rose, and to me, it is more of a true rose with a little light airiness. So the notes that they say here are airy rose water, jasmine petals, and creamy musk. And the rose water and the jasmine stand out the most here. And it is what I would reach for when I just want a traditional rose base. They had one that was like an heirloom rose, and I didn't care for that one because that one did feel a little more old fashioned and dated. But this one is a traditional rose without feeling old fashioned. And the next one is, and I just got a small one of this, and I'll tell you why. This is covered in roses, and this is one that people oftentimes say smells like the Delinas, and it does. It's pretty spot on, honestly, but not as strong. So it's a great base for those types of fragrances. It still is strong because that type of profile is a strong one. So that's why I just got a small one, because this is powerful, but obviously not as powerful as a fragrance, but that's covered in roses. And the last one is Rose Vanilla. They call it Inspire Love. And this one is pretty simple. It's vanilla and rose, but the vanilla sweetens the rose up a little bit. So for some of my more fruity rose fragrances, I would reach for the Inspire Love Rose Vanilla. And when I really want to drive home the rose in my fragrances, I will add a little Nest Turkish Rose perfume oil. It's a straight up and down, sweet, classic rose. This is so good. It is a roll on. I don't think, even though I love rose, I didn't feel like I would go through enough of this and to warrant the big bottle like I have of the vanilla and the coconut. But I really do enjoy this. And this alone can drive home a rose base for your fragrances. So that is the Nest Turkish Rose. Now let's get into some of our categories for roses, as I broke these up in categories that made sense to me. And I'm going to start with what I would call your evening or sultry rose fragrance. Oh, I see one is behind me. I forgot to grab it. That we'll just start with this one since we're talking about our evening and sultry roses, and it's Ana Abayed Scarlet. It's your cherry, rose, patchouli, sexy scent. And I've talked about this one in my Latafa video, so I won't belabor the point, but this one is beautiful to me and it is a winner. Next in that sultry category is Rose Whip by Floor. And I had the travel of this one, and then I got that little coffret over the holiday season. And so I have basically these two small ones, and I think that's enough for my collection. And this is a sexy, powdery, but there's still a little airiness in this rose, and I think this is absolutely beautiful. If you're a rose lover, you need Rose Whip in your collection. I don't say that often, but this one I would definitely say for all rose lovers, you need Rose Whip in your collection. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And another of our sultry, sexy type of rose fragrances is Musk Noir Rose by Narciso Rodriguez. And this is the for her version, because I guess there's one for men as well. I haven't smelled that. I've had this bottle for over a year, and that's all that I've used of it because it is powerful. This one is a little more peppery. And when I first heard about this, people were saying that men absolutely adore this fragrance, and I can attest to that. My husband loves this. This is not necessarily my favorite, but he loves this one on me. So that is Musk Noir Rose by Narciso Rodriguez. The next category I'm going to talk about are classic roses, ones that just smell rosy. I personally don't smell a lot else. The rose is dominant and the rose is simple but beautiful. In that category is one of my all-time favorites, and that is Chloe, the original Eau de Parfum. Chloe is a classic for a reason. Now, I am a Chloe girl, as you will see in this video, but this one is the one that started it all for me. The original Chloe Eau de Parfum. Another one that I consider to be a classic rose. There are other notes, but to me, to my nose, I just smell rose. And that is Rose Era by Sniff. Now this one is a little bit powdery, but it's predominantly rose heavy. When they say Rose Era, they meant it. This is beautiful. I've only had this for maybe like 6 months, and it's gotten some good wears considering it's mainly been fall and winter, the amount of time that I've had this. I don't think this came out at the best time of year, but I've still been wearing it a little bit. And I know in the springtime, it's going to get a lot of rotation. So that's Rose Era by Sniff. And those are ones that I would consider to be my classic, straight up and down rose fragrances. You know what? I'm going to add one more to that. And it's another Chloe, and it is Roses de Chloe. Now, this one is your Chloe DNA with the rose turned all the way up. It is so good. I'm a Chloe girl, you guys. I really love the house, and this one is a real winner for me because it gives me that Chloe that I love, and it just amps up the rose just that much more. So good. That is Roses de Chloe. Okay, moving on, we're going to talk about some aquatic or airy types of rose fragrances, and I just have two, and they are both sample sizes that I got from Scentbird. The first of those is Rosa Noble by Acqua di Parma, and it is a watery, rosy fragrance with a little bit of pink pepper at the start of it. So it gives it a little bit of spice, but that spice doesn't linger throughout the fragrance. It dries down to an aquatic rose, and I like it, but I don't think that I would get a full bottle of this. And the second one, also by Scentbird, or not by Scentbird, but I got a sample from Scentbird, is Rose Morning by Fresh. This one is very dewy and bright, a little bit sweet. And this one is full bottle worthy. I just haven't purchased it because I have plenty of rose fragrances, but I've used, I don't know if you can see, I've used almost the whole container of this small one. I think this is like a 9 or 10 mil from Scentbird. So that's from Fresh, and that is Rose Morning. I really do enjoy this one. The next two are also ones that I got from Scentbird, and they're what I would call my vanilla rose fragrances. There's not a whole lot more to them, and besides vanilla and rose, as far as what my nose is smelling. The first is Rose Musk by Montal, and although yes, there is musk there, I smell a lot of vanilla and obviously rose. And this one is a more modern rose, and I like it, but I don't think that I would get a full bottle of it. It's quite strong. It does last all day, or 6 to 8 hours. It's a little bit of sweetness, and it has that. There's something about Montal fragrances I've noticed. They all have a similar type of DNA to me, or at least the ones that I've purchased from them. Even though they have different notes, there's something about the dry down for Montal fragrances that it never makes me want to buy a full bottle of it. And so I like this. I have used it and I will continue to use it, but it's not my favorite. And the other one is Roses Vanille by Mancera. And it they're different fragrances, but honestly, these two smell the same to me. And I don't know. It's Roses Vanille and this Roses Musk. This one by Montal, this one by Mancera. They smell the same to me. The one by Mancera is just like a teeny bit sweeter, and I guess that's that vanilla that's coming through. But they smell very, very similar to me. Neither one of them makes me want to buy a full bottle, but I do enjoy it and I will use them. And I have been using them, and I'll continue to use what I have. The last three categories are ones that are really some of my favorites, to be honest with you. We'll start with what I consider beast mode rose fragrances. The first one is Fleur Majesty by Kayali. This is a modern rose, a pink rose, and this puppy is strong. I have only used this much of that little bottle, and I've had this since it came out. I got this right away when it came out because I just knew that I would probably like it. But I'm glad I got the small one because it's lasted me, basically most of 2025. So I think this came out in the beginning of last year. I do enjoy it. It is one that I get compliments on. And it's one that you have to be careful, like what coat you wear with this, because it will stick. It will stick for a long time. The next one in the collection is C, the original one by Giorgio Armani. I talked about this one in my vanilla fragrance video, but it is also a rose dominant fragrance. It is a little heavier. It's got some patchouli anchoring it. And this is a beast. It was strong when I first got it, and I've had it for several years. And let me tell you what, I only need about 2 sprays of this at this point because it is strong. And that is C. Giorgio Armani. The next one is by Kadlaj, and it's called Rose Couture. Isn't that a beautiful bottle? The Arabic fragrances, the Arabic companies do such a beautiful job with their bottles. So pretty. That is Rose Couture. It's an inspiration of Delina Exclusive. It's a little sweet, just a little sweeter than Delina because I've had a sample of the original. And I think I like this better. It's still as strong, it's just as powerful, but it's a teeny tiny bit sweeter. Yeah. So if you like Delina exclusive, but you don't want to pay that price, Kadlaj has a really good inspiration. That's Rose Couture. And the last in that beast mode fragrance category is Chloe Le Parfum, the one with the burgundy ribbon. I told you guys about it in my vanilla fragrance video because I had a travel size of it, and I told you that it was full bottle worthy. So since I did that video, I have purchased the 1 ounce. No regrets. No regrets. This is orange blossom and vanilla heavy, but the rose is still there, and she still can be detected. It has that Chloe DNA, but this one is a little bit more heavy with the vanilla and orange blossom, but the rose is still there. That's Chloe Le Parfum. The next category of rose fragrances is one that I've had this travel size forever, it seems, but I haven't gone through it and I've used quite a bit. But that is Lychee Rose by Nest. This one, that lychee or lychee, depending on how you pronounce it, that lychee gives it a tart, bright opening, and the rose comes through and sits on your skin. And that lychee stays for the majority of the fragrance. And that's the fruity component that I pick up the most in Lychee Rose. And I think this is full bottle worthy. I've just haven't gone through this travel size, and I've had it for a little while now, maybe a year and a half, and I haven't managed to get through this travel, so that's why I haven't purchased a full size, but it is full bottle worthy, and that is Lychee Rose by Nest. And if I didn't say it, these are all fruity roses. So the lychee rose was the first, and the next one is one of 2 brand new ones that I've gotten very recently. This one is Idole Peach and Roses. Now, this one is very fruity, very sweet in the opening. The peach really comes through. You know, when you cut open a yellow peach and the very inner part of the yellow peach has that reddish flesh right close to the pit? That's what the peach smells like here to me. A very ripe, fruity, robust, sweet peach. And then the rose comes in and it anchors it and gives it longevity because the peach doesn't last throughout the fragrance, but it lasts a good little while. But the rose is the thing that lasts. And I'm starting to wonder if I should have gotten a bigger one. I got the small one, but it's really good. If I go through this, which there's a good chance because those Idol bottles are kind of slim. I think this is I don't even think this is 1 ounce. I think it's 0.8 ounces. And it's so good. It's so fun and sweet. And fun fact. So while I was wearing rose fragrances as a girl, peach was also another fragrance category, another fragrance note that I really loved as a girl. And that makes sense because a lot of like body sprays and things like that that young girls and teens may like to wear have a peach note. And so, yes, I was wearing what some might consider to be old lady fragrances, sometimes with the rose, but then I was also wearing very youthful, peachy fragrances. And so when this one came out and I heard about it, I think I heard about it by Melija Amore on her channel. Great channel, by the way. You should subscribe. When I first heard about it on her channel, I was like, run, do not walk. I'm going. I went the next day and picked this up. So that is Idole Peach and Roses by Lancome. So good. And it's my scent of the day. The next fruity rose fragrance is the new Irresistible by Givenchy. Now, this bottle is something of a beautiful masterpiece. It's got the same shape as the original Irresistible with this beautiful multi-chrome shift, purple multi-chrome shift. It is so pretty, such a beautiful bottle. When I first smelled this, it was sweeter than I was expecting. Let me get the notes for you. So the top note is neroli. In the mid, there's rose and rose petals. So they double down on the rose in the middle. And in the base, it's cream, vanilla, pistachio, and woody notes. And when I first sprayed this on myself, I was like, I like it, but I don't know if I love it. And so I said, no, I don't think I'm going to get it. It was at Macy's. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to get it. I left the store. I was doing some other shopping and I just kept smelling. And I had to turn around, take it back, and go back and purchase it. On my skin, when that uber sweetness dies down, because it's very sweet in the top, I get a beautiful powdery rose. There's no iris or violet or anything like that, which I kind of assumed because the bottle's purple. No, there's something, maybe it's the cream, maybe it's the way the cream and the vanilla are playing in the base, but when this dries down on my skin, it is the most heavenly, powdery, beautiful rose scent. And I don't have anything quite like this one in my rose collection. So I was very happy to pick up Irresistible Nectar. Last category for my rose fragrances are my all-purpose rose fragrances, ones that can go day, night, almost any occasion, and they're some of my favorites. We're going to start off with She Was Here by Forever Mood. This one is a rose, pistachio. This is my only full-size Forever Mood fragrance. I have two others that I have travel sizes of, but this one, this to me is Forever Mood's best fragrance in their entire collection. And it is just, I always get compliments when I wear this. And it boosts my mood. It's sweet. It's obviously rosy. It has a little bit of depth, and I'm going to get those notes for you on this. So the notes in She Was Here are pomegranate and elemi in the top, and in the mid, it's Turkish rose, vanilla, pistachio, and milk. And in the base, it's amber and suede. And I think that suede and amber in the base is what gives it a grounding that allows this one to be able to go from day to night. It is sweet. It is a little bit fruity from the pomegranate. And the pistachio is not too heavy because sometimes pistachio on my skin doesn't work out very well. But in the way that they blended, She Was Here from Forever Mood, the pistachio is just the right amount of nuttiness and not too much. This is just an incredible, incredible rose fragrance. The next on the list is Irresistible, the original one by Givenchy. And this one is a light, bright rose. It's a little bit traditional, and it has that, I'm going to call it like department store quality, but in the best way possible. This one, I get a lot of compliments from my son, believe it or not. I think this is his favorite fragrance on me. Um, I happen to notice that he's the main one that compliments me when I wear Irresistible, the original. And this is what let me know that I would probably like the new flanker. And I do. I love them both. They're both so lovely, very different from each other, but they have a lot of flankers in the Irresistible line. But I love the original, and now I love the nectar. So, as far as my everyday type of day to night quality, I would say that Irresistible by Givenchy fits that bill. So good. So the notes in Irresistible, the original, are pear and ambrette in the top, rose and iris in the mid, and musk and Virginia cedar in the base. And I think the Virginia cedar gives it a grounding that allows me to be able to wear this any time of day and almost any season. But obviously it will shine in the springtime because of that rose and iris. So this one is one of my favorites. I've only had this for about a year because I was a little new to the game, a little late to the game on Irresistible. I did not know that I would love it so much, but I'm glad to have it in my collection. And it's just a classic for a reason. That's Irresistible. And finally, my favorite rose in my entire collection, and that's saying a lot, is arguably one of my favorite fragrances in my entire collection, and that is Delina La Rose. Delina La Rose is a modern rose with watery accords, and it's so fresh, so bold without being overbearing, long lasting, soft, sweet. It's just perfect. I love Delina La Rose. It is my favorite rose fragrance in my collection. And it's my favorite of all the Delinas. Obviously, it's the only one that I've purchased an actual Delina, or excuse me, it's the only one that I've actually purchased the brand name one and not an inspired or an Arabic dupe of it. And I just don't think it can be beat. And that is Delina La Rose. I'm going to get the notes for you for that if you're not familiar. So the notes in Delina La Rose are lychee, pear, bergamot, and pink pepper in the top. I don't really get the pink pepper, but it's there. In the mid is Turkish rose, peony, which is peony smells very similar to rose, and it's one of my favorite florals in perfumery. Water notes, or watery notes rather, floral notes, white musk, and those are in the mid. And in the base, it's white musk, woody notes, and Haitian vetiver. So the lychee in the top is there, and the bergamot, it gives it a fresh, bright opening. And the Turkish rose, peony, and watery notes in the mid are what stay on my skin the longest. And this one, it could have gone in the fruity category. It could have gone in the beast mode category. But honestly, it's just, I can wear this anytime. I know some people relegate it to the spring because it is a springy, fresh, floral, fruity fragrance. But for me, it's one of my signature scents. This is the scent that my kids, when they smell it, they say that this reminds them of mommy. And that is Delina La Rose by Parfums de Marly. So that is it, everybody. Those are all of my rose fragrances. I hope you enjoyed it. And you guys go and have a beautiful, beautiful day or night, wherever you are. Bye-bye, everybody.